Welcome to Intimately. I am Michelle Lee, and I'm so excited. We've got a special guest today. Welcome, Shankari, the alchemist from Bali. We met in 2023 when I came to a retreat that was across the river from this really intriguing place that I saw up on the hillside, and I could hear things happening. And so I looked it up, and it was an art retreat studio for people to be able to come and stay with you, and you do a work trade program. And I was not able to stay on a work trade program, but I was like, Shankari, I want to come and stay with you. There was just something there that was pulling me to you. And here we are again 3 years later. So welcome, Shankari.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
You have such an amazing place, and your journey has been so beautiful all over the world. And the one night that we shared dinner together, you shared with me that we actually shared the same name, like your original birth name,
That's
and
right.
mine was the same. And I was like, oh, another sister. And I remember you were born in Australia, but you've been on this journey for a long time. I've been talking a lot about hustle versus being in the flow state, and you've definitely lived your life in a flow.
I would say that's true. Yes.
Can you share with me what that has been like and with other people who are struggling with letting go with all they know is their parents taught them you head down, work hard, the American dream for us. I don't know what it is from where you came from, but share with us what that looked like as a child versus how you broke the bonds.
Well, I would look at the definition of hustle and flow. And flow is something that comes from trust. And hustle is something born out of fear. It's like it's not going to happen naturally. I'm going to have to make it happen. And of course, when you're doing that, you're feeding your ego. And then that's making the world more toxic. Because flow is when you let go and you have the power to say, show me. Not I want, not give me, not all this stuff that we think we need, but show me what is the next step on my path to abundance. What's the next step for me? Is it wonder? Is it something more amazing that I don't even know about? Because when we think we know and we've engaged our ego, we go into fear. We're out of flow. We miss the best opportunities. That's my personal perspective as a natural hustler.
Yeah. I was a natural hustler too. And to say that you missed the best opportunities is such a valuable statement. What would it feel like to be guided? How does it feel like to you to be guided? What are people feeling, or how do they know?
Well, it does come back to trust, but of course, ultimately, it's trusting yourself, trusting your destiny, trusting your perception, your understanding, and allowing yourself to be successful as a result of flow. Instead of this, need to have the win the cup. That super competitive energy. In that energy, there is no genuine success. The energy of success in 2026 is cooperation, co-creation. We've entered the 2000s. It's a world of co. together. That's what that means. Come together. So in that world, in that vibrational field of the two, yeah, so that's where we are right now. To be successful, we have to co-create.
The things that keep us divided. Would you like to hit on that?
Correct.
What do you see?
Well, when you're in competition or spend your life in comparison, you're always energetically separating, which is counterproductive in this 1,000 years of code that we've just started. You have to think about in the 1900s, for 100 years, every single person born had at least a 1 and a 9, which is the ego and the humanitarian. Sort of count working on each other, balance. But all these new children born since 2000, they don't have that. They only
Have
have a
they not?
2.
Mm.
So that's a whole new vibrational population.
That's interesting that now we have computers that measure twos and threes, and you're saying that this new generation, their numbers are twos.
Yes.
Interesting. So that is the quantum realm. So our new generation is naturally just being born into this heart mind coherence understanding.
That's right.
Is that what I? Wow.
Even working online is co-creating.
But that's a deep topic for some of my listeners. Can you simplify what that means to them?
You mean working with computers is co-creating?
No, saying this generation now are 1,000 years ago, everybody's numbers where you said ones and sixes.
No, up till 2000.
And now we're not, we're just twos. What, explain that.
Everybody new is being born with a 2. I had 5 children, and I didn't get a single 2 in my family until he was born. So, the more variety of vibration you have around you, the more whole you are.
I totally agree with that because staying in, the news or the social media, or that keeps you so limited on your understanding of others.
Well, absolutely. And it's all designed to affect you emotionally, manipulate your intention to your emotions. Yeah, stay informed, not impressed.
Stay informed, not impressed.
Yes.
You have such wise words. I talking about the ego again. I remember we went to dinner and you said to me, "You're quite the shapeshifter." And I said, "I've been told that so many times. That's really interesting." And you were like, "Well, then I'm never going to tell you again." I was like, "Thank you. You're right." So people who are looking to follow their heart and they've grown up with a structure of saying that's not possible for you. You got to stay to the grind. And because I know my dad really provided well for me, and then myself and my children were very much in a flow state. And I see where it needs to be a little balanced. We need a little balance of chop wood, carry water, and be in a flow state. Yeah. So, what does that look like?
Do what you love, but do something.
Right? It's not work when you love what you're doing.
Well, sometimes it's hard. You might go beyond what you believe are your limits, but then that's what makes you grow. And it's in the world of art and creative activation. But the person that you're comparing yourself to is yourself yesterday.
Mhm.
not any other person.
I want to say that again. The person that you're comparing yourself is the person you were yesterday.
Correct. When you're being creative, because you can see your evolution in the different way you're looking at your work.
And you're surrounded by art. You're surrounded there by people who are actually in the flow state. People who are living just off the grid, doing their thing. They come there, they work for you. Tell me a little bit about what that looks like and what you're experiencing with this amazing generation coming through your art studio there.
Well, most of them are Europeans. They're students that have finished their courses and are looking for life experience. And so, excuse me. And so they come through an app, and I suggest myself as a host. And so I have a lot of Europeans, South Americans. They're not people living off grid nearby. They're a constant flow of international beings who are learning to work together in peace. We feel like it's like the Olympics, like everybody's all together waving their country's flag, but everybody here is always feeling very kindly and lovingly towards each other, because it's an environment where when you're doing your art, you really are revealing yourself. And so by the end of a week, many people have made friends for life, where they might never have met those people anywhere else. And I feel that's part of my purpose.
That is your purpose, to bring them all together in this time and in this co-creative time. You're bringing a lot of artists together, and then I've been really seeing a increase of awareness of what you're doing there. It looks like they're also putting it out there to other artists to come work with
Yes.
you. What does a day look like at your studio there when you have the kids?
Well, they only work between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. because really that's as long as I can pay them attention. You know, they're very young, so they can't even take too much of me, and I can't take that much of them.
I understand. You're a beautiful mother to so many people out there. You bring them into your home, you teach them how to mosaic tile. Your whole sanctuary is amazing. How many years have you been laying mosaic tile there?
30, yeah, 30 years.
I had the opportunity to lay some mosaic tile, and the vision, your overall vision is just amazing. And so thank you for your gifts. Thank you for allowing people to come there and not only express art through your sanctuary, but to learn from you, to be guided from you, to be able to grow from you. It's a beautiful gift.
Thank you very much. Well, I do other things too. Of course, I make my jewelry, which is shankari.com. And I have a website, shankarihealing.com, where I'm offering counseling. And I think it's a time when there are lots of people who really need personal support so they can understand the major changes occurring and gather some tools to support their evolution through it.
Yeah.
And I must say, I feel very blessed. I don't think I can remember being as happy as I am now. I think that joy is in the journey, really. I have a long way to go to where I feel like I've finished this part of my mission. Every step is a blessing. And I'm so happy to be speaking with you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be coming back to Bali and spending some time with you again. And
That would be lovely.
yeah, to continue to nurture this co-creation, this vibration that we want to shift the world, allow people to step into their wholeness, right? And to not have that fear.
I
So,
feel fear is the greatest challenge on the planet. And of course, that's what that 0.1% was busy creating fear. You can manipulate everybody through fear.
yeah.
Don't be a chump. Stop being fearful. It's going to happen anyway. I always used to think it's got a 10% chance of happening, your fears. So just don't give it any more energy than that.
Don't give it any more than 10% of your energy, all of your
Yeah.
fears. I
Yeah.
love it. And then now this last part of this I want to talk about. So we want to live in the flow state. We're getting past our fears. And what my practice is to teach embodiment meditation, right? Because not only are you going to see where you're being guided to go, but now you've got to believe it. You've got to live it. You've got to think it. You've got to speak it, because now you're creating a synapses through your thought process that's moving into that quantum field that we're talking about. And now more than ever, we're in a time where you can really manifest your own reality, but you've got to believe it with every part of your being. And that comes from feeling it also. What would you say about that for people who don't really have a practice of feeling connected to their higher self?
Well, if you want to survive, start now. Because if you don't have a connection to your higher self, then you're not a conscious of your steering device. You'll become lost. So being connected to your higher self or your universal beingness is what allows you to stay grounded throughout the drama. And if you're not grounded, if you have no gravity, you eventually dematerialize. And that's not your purpose, I'm sure. So just take up a practice of any sort that's going to bring your brain biochemistry into a place that suits you. It's really very simple. I always think of it as being my brain soup. Like my brain soup's meeting your brain soup. And this is what's happening biochemically between us. If my brain soup was different, and so was yours, this might never have happened. And your brain soup is all that biochemistry that makes up your responses, all those catalysts to your daily life, your experience of your daily life. So when you're meditating, you're giving yourself the best opportunity to unravel all those knots and be in a place of peace in a world of chaos. It's really a no-brainer.
And many of the people I speak to, they say, I can't meditate. I think that many people have a misbelief of what meditation actually looks like. And
Absolutely.
yeah, it's not just sitting there, not thinking and forcing yourself to be still and uncomfortable. It's getting into something where your mind is no longer thinking. What would you say?
Well, I would think it's like most things. It was to some degree derided publicly, made to seem to feel foreign or weird, and that's in service to that 0.5% that want you to stay in fear with no tools, and they're managing that information resource. Have to ask yourself, why do you think of meditation as being difficult and boring? My experience is it's always fascinating. Who knows what's going to happen? Life's full of surprises, especially when you're in a very quiet, balanced state, when you're allowing that still, small voice of God to be heard. And you can hear it as much as I can. One thing I do know, though, is you have to ask your angels for help. There's a universal law of non-interference. And so unless you actually ask for help, they really can't help you. And so if you're having trouble, ask for help.
So there's a universal law of interference, and if you're not
Non-interference.
a universal law of non-interference. So if you're not consciously and intentionally asking for guidance, they will not interfere in your life and just step in and say, "Hey, you're going down the wrong path."
That's right.
Another reason to make sure you're always listening to yourself.
And feeling yourself, feeling and listening.
Yeah, feeling is why I help people get into a state of theta or deep relaxation after we've energized the whole body, because we want to add pranic energy to every cell, or you would call those the nadis, right? Like just those tiny little sensory points, the little fine hairs that stand up on your body, a little intuition or a little hit in your gut. These are the senses that you're talking about.
Exactly. So you are a whole being and you have everything going on all at once because you are an amazing work of art by God. Get alive. Experience the miracles that are all around you. You have to be willing. It's that thing about, when you put a rock in the middle of a circle and everybody sits around it and then they have to describe the rock. There are 12 realities that are described because the rock's not exactly, the same in each place, like life. And so everybody has their own reality they're working in. That's what I mean by your brain soup. But you are the chef. You're making your brain soup by every action you take, every thought you have, every feeling you allow to pass through you. That's what's building your brain biochemistry.
And the longer you stew over something, the more you cook it into pulp and you can't even recognize what it is anymore.
Well, you've squeezed every little bit of joy out of it.
Yeah.
So no more flavor.
Nice. I want all the spices in life that there is to have.
That's right. Exactly. And I really do think right now the world is changing and there are so many more people ready and willing.
And so the people who are ready and willing from anywhere in the world can contact you. Yes.
They can. As an artist, I truly believe it's the way that you do things, not what you do. It's your manner of approach. You could make it a work of art to wash a floor if that's what your job was. So it's your approach that matters most. How you see yourself in the picture. And you must love yourself unconditionally. Forgive yourself for all of the things that you blame yourself for. Let it go. Love yourself. And suddenly the world will be a beautiful place and other people will love you because you'll show them how. Oh, there's a lot I could talk about regarding this. I think it's so relevant. I think people isolate themselves from feeling guilty.
Yes. Well, will you come back on again?
Yes, sure, sure. So if you'd like to contact me, shankari.com or shankarihealing.com.
Perfect. And I'll put the link to both of those in the description below.
It's
Shankari,
been
it was
lovely
such
to
a
talk to
pleasure
you,
to have
Michelle.
you. It's been a pleasure. I love you so
And
much and thank you for all.
thank you, thank you.
All right. Well, we will be in contact really soon. And if you'd like to learn more about Shankari's Art Sanctuary, if you're a traveling nomad and you love art and tile and mosaics, all things beautiful, contact Shankari also. You can stay for a week, 2 weeks, a month, and do a work trade program with her also. Until the next time, I look forward. Yeah, until the next time, everyone, thank you so much. And this is Intimately, and we will be together again soon. Bye.